Hey guys, I thought I'd make a video to try to make sure that I actually stick to that 3-minute thing. So I'm doing the flipped lesson. Um, Somebody who did this would be able to describe flipped learning, analyze whether or not it was good for them, debate one of the topics about it, and ultimately create a lesson plan. Transformative learning, we talk about it. Basically, we're changing something, and what's a bigger change than completely flipping from the lecture and then practice and homework format to the investigate at home and then come in ready to do it. Part one is the individual learning space, which is the flip term for homework. So basically what this is that adult learners, we're able to work on our own. We want to do it in our own way, in our own time, in our own space. We want to be responsible for our own learning, and flipped learning really accommodates to that. This is the assignment. There are multiple different QR codes here that, watch will give you an idea of what flipped learning is. Read will give you the pros and cons, and chat will give you like a link to a chat room that has something to do with flipped learning. And the bottom row is in Spanish, and that's just to demonstrate the adaptability of doing a flipped lesson plan. The right side of the screen has the other side of this worksheet, and that's the homework the kids have to, or the students have to turn in. So they're going to, in each of these 9 boxes, they're going to, for the video, they need to put one benefit, one disadvantage, and one thought or idea. And then for the article that they read, one benefit, one disadvantage, and one thought. They just have to put something in each of those squares. And these are the thoughts these are the steps that people could be going through and how it lines up with the transformative steps. So they're going to be like, what? Teacher just gave me this assignment. I've never seen this before. How does she expect me to do this? And then through the process of going through these things, they're going to be acquiring the skills. And this is the rubric. They just either get the credit, they get half credit, they get none based on how much they did. Part 2 is the group learning space, which means in class. So the student has the content already, they've been exposed, they're ready to actually work with it and do things with it. First thing would be a quick little Jeopardy, and this is fun. You just click on one, and I guess it doesn't work while I'm videotaping it, but you click on it, it goes to the question, it comes back to the board, and that would just be kind of a refresher, and it would be based on things that were in those links. And then the students would, in the same groups from Jeopardy, they would debate this. So one side, they'd be given, say, 10 minutes to discuss in their groups and come up with as many things that they could to address this topic, which is the flipped model won't work because some people can't or won't do the content delivery pre-work. So half the class would say, yeah, they're not going to do it. And the other half is going to say, well, it would still work because, and they're going to come up with it and they're going to debate it as a class. And I call it wiffle ball debate. And here's how they get graded on that. This is a rubric for debate. And then they're going to pair off and create their own flipped lesson, and they can choose a lesson they've previously submitted, one they found online, one that belongs to someone else, one from a textbook. It doesn't matter. They're going to take a lesson plan that's out there, and they're going to recreate it as a flipped lesson. And then they would assign it, or they would have it done at the end of class or end of the week, or however that was designated by the instructor. And this is how that would be graded. And this is kind of the big money project for this lesson. So it's worth the most points. We've got format, elements, technique, creativity. And then these are the rest of the 10 transformational steps that were addressed earlier. So this is the part that would happen from the class portion. So at home, they were like, what is this? I don't know what this is. I'm not comfortable with this. And then when they're in class, they're like, okay, let me try this. Let me give this a shot. Am I going in the right direction? And that's where the teacher's really acting as a facilitator. So in conclusion, there's been some research on this. Mostly it is pretty good. Not everybody believes that flipped learning is appropriate for every environment. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. My argument is that with more and more hybrid and blended classes and with more adult non-traditional learners, that you've got to expect students to take responsibility for at least a bulk of the content on their own time so that you can really get the creative thinking, all of those other things that we do to think like a nurse, all of those concept building, all of the critical thinking skills that we're developing. We've got to transform our thinking from the teacher bestows this, magic learning and then the student is going to be like, yay, now I know stuff, to the student has to do their investigation and then come ready to work with that so that we can have that transformation process to critical thinking. That's it. It's been a great semester, y'all. Look forward to seeing you guys next semester, and have a lovely Christmas and New Year and winter, and stay safe.